back to Bob's Wood Shop. Well, sorry about the quality on this video. I'm having to use my laptop. My wife has the camera, and it's been a while since I did a video. So if you remember in the last video, I made this dovetail spline cutting jig, and it worked out great. I can't say as much for the way I used it. I thought it was going okay. I think the problem was I cut the dovetails too deep, and I had to recut the splines, the dovetailed splines, and they kind of blew the corner of the box out that I was making. I was pretty annoyed about that. And I had pre-finished the inside of the box and left the outside unfinished, and then left it out here in the shop while I was gone for a couple of weeks. Came back and it was kind of skewed and out of square, and so it ended up in the fireplace. I got pretty annoyed with that, but especially since it was expensive wood. It was this quilted macaw, and I didn't think I had enough left to make another one. Another issue that I had was I was making a base out of the macaw as well, and if you can see the profile on it right there, it's a pretty profile. What I did was I sliced it about halfway on that half round, and then I was going to sit the box on top of this, and that was going to be the base for the box. It was okay. It was square, pretty tight on the corners. Because of the box being out of kilter and out of square, it didn't sit on the base correctly, and to me it looked terrible. So that went to the fireplace too. I should have saved the pieces, but I was pretty annoyed, and I figured, well, start over. So what I ended up doing was I decided the biggest problem, I think, was trying to cut the 45-degree miters using my Milwaukee compound miter saw. And as good as they are, they're not going to give you a perfect vertical 45-degree angle all the way straight down. It's not going to happen. Not to the degree that I'm looking for anyway. So, with that said, I came back and I saved the Cameo, and this is it. I just did a little bit of work on it and rounded off this, hit it with some 320 sandpaper on a little block, and dressed that up real good. I still have to cut out the eye and the pupil, and the eye is going to be again, that'll be white also, the back part of the eye, and then there'll be I thought either blue or black, and I think I'll end up doing black. I'll use a little piece of ebony for the iris, and the rest of the eye will be white. So that's the Cameo, and I'm pretty happy with the way that came out. The shading on the hair, I could have done a little better job on that. But all in all, that's pretty nice. This will go on the top instead of inside on the bottom. And what I'll do is I will use a knife when I set it down, and I'll trace around it very lightly until I get a good line all the way around on this oval. And then I'll use my laminate router, and I'll take out that little tiny thin amount, and we'll be real careful with that. So what I ended up doing was ended up using I recut all the sides and front and the back, and actually made it even bigger this time. But all I had was 1/4 inch macaw, and I don't know if you can see it, but the 45s now are perfect. and but I felt like a klutz when I was putting it together because it kept tipping and pieces falling, and I don't know, you probably know how that works out. So what I came up with is this kind of a jig, I guess you could call it. It's a piece of MDF, and I can take this out, loosen that up, and slide the clamps off. And you can see what I was dealing with when it was just sitting up on its own there. But wondering why that's sitting there. What I did was I got the box sitting pretty good. I measured it, and then I just traced with a pencil inside and outside, and then I routed out the MDF so that I had a perfect fit in there, and that's basically where the box will sit in there for the glue up when I actually glue up the sides, and I'll use the strap clamp, and we'll be real careful with that. So what I'm probably going to do is, after the miter's glued up, it's not going to be real strong. I guess I could leave it on the MDF, and I could probably put a veneer on this on the bottom and the sides, and that would probably be okay. But what I want to do is I picked up a piece of ebony, but stuff's pretty pricey, as you might imagine. This one piece was $27 just for this one stick of wood. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to make a corner dressing for it. And what I want to do is I'll make it perfectly square, and then I'll round over the three sides, and then this will attach to the and it'll go right over the 45s to the miters, and that'll help hold that together better. And it's also a decorative element. I kind of like that. I got some ideas for some maybe different shapes on the side pieces, and so that's what I think I'm going to do with that. And then also I picked up a piece of holly. Nice piece of holly here. This was pretty reasonable. This little piece was like $32. But I'm considering using this for the top. I thought maybe this would go nicely on the holly, and then I have a piece of Mediterranean walnut that I was thinking about doing some inlays all the way around, and then maybe box the corners with some of the ebony, and I think that might look nice. I may contour this a little bit. I don't know yet exactly what I'm doing with that. And I also have a small piece of Purple Heart. We got all these little pieces here, and that I'm going to cut up, and that'll be a tray for the inside of the box. So that's what we've been up to. Again, the sled, the dovetail jig work. I think that'll work fine, but I don't think it's what I need to use for small projects. Something a little bigger might be okay. Plus, I used maple for the dovetails. I may have tried to salvage it if I was using something like of nicer contrasting wood like the holly here. But when I got it sanded nice and flush with the maple in there, it just looked dirty. It wasn't pretty at all, and the spacing on it was good, you know, for traditional joinery, and there was no seams. It was pretty nice, but one corner blew out, and you can't really fill something like that and really have it look good. So that was really the decision maker for throwing that piece into the fireplace. And the stuff doesn't burn that easy either, but it just sat there and just turned black. Speaking of ebony, I picked up I'm going to give it a shot. If you take a piece of cherry and a piece of steel wool and some vinegar, and you soak the cherry in the vinegar and in the with the steel wool in there, just leave it in there for a number of days, take it out, and let it dry out real good. I'm told, I haven't tried it, but I'm told that it's called poor man's ebony, and I've seen it, and it really looks good. They'll use it on you know, for making banding and inlays and stuff like that. So I think even on guitars they use it for repairs, and it looked pretty good, the ones I saw. So I'm gonna try and get some more work on this. I got a lot of other things keeping me out of the shop, and that's about it, I guess. Just thought I'd bring you all up to date what's happening. And as I said, that broke my heart to throw that quilted macaw in the trash can. I probably should have saved it, or in the fireplace. I probably should have saved it, little pieces. I could have used it for something, I guess. But the only way to start over is to start over, and until that went into the wood stove, I wasn't about to start over. So that's where we're standing. Well, thanks for watching, and hey, thank you everyone for subscribing. It's a pretty big thrill to me that y'all would go through the trouble of clicking subscribe and wanting to see the next video that I put out. So thank you very much for that, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye bye now.